Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Leicester Fan Aftermath Show with me, Jonno. I've already got Jack on in the sidelines. We're going to be talking about the PSV game as well as the Newcastle game today in the Premier League, which I will be attending for the first time. So let's get the show on the road.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the Aftermath Show. Fortunately, I am not Jamie. It's not the famous Aftermath Show. It's the Aftermath Show with John. I can't take over Jamie, but good morning to everyone. Let's get some hellos in. Morning, Jonno. Morning, lads. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Haley, who's with Jack. No, I've not slept in. I just thought I'll do an intro to bring everyone in. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So today is the big day. We're back in the Premier League after a massive win in Eindhoven, where, as you saw, everyone went to. This is why I saw about the lack of content recently. We've all been so busy with travelling and work. We haven't got any shows out. So today we'll be talking a bit about the Leicester game against PSV. Then we'll jump into Newcastle game. So first of all, to talk about the PSV game, someone who was there is Jack. Jack, you ready to come on? Good morning, Jack, with the sunglasses you got last night. You may have seen me and Jack went on a night out in the Toon last night. How are you? How is morning, Jack?
Yeah, we're all right, pal, because I see the world in now in a bigger picture.
Yep, I've upgraded to a camera. So, Jack, to start with, let's discuss quickly about the PSV game, because we haven't done much content on that since since that game. It was an amazing game. We did so well, but I've lost all my stuff. So, who was your man of the match for the PSV game?
Wesley Fofana, hands down. Sublime defending. It's like he's never been injured.
Ever since he's come back, I don't think we've lost since we've had him back in the starting lineup, have we? We've drawn 3, won 2, or won 3, drawn 2, and we've only conceded 5 goals out of those 5 games. So we've been a lot better with him back in the team.
Yeah, definitely. He's showing how good he can be as a player. He's still very young, still learning. He's an all-round footballer, Jonno. He was natural position, which was centre mid. But now he's playing at centre back. And what a form partnership is with Johnny Evans in the back four against PSV. Unplayable.
Yeah, as the councillor said, morning councillor. He is our Rolls-Royce player. Ever since we've got back our main defenders, we've got Castagna back, Fofana, Evans. We've just looked completely different. And Brendan Rodgers, you got to put credit on him. He's changed his tactics in defending. We rarely score from set pieces anymore, and his tactical masterclass against PSV was just in the second half. The first half, I don't agree with the starting lineup, but when he brought Lookman on and Perez, the whole game just took a different turn, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought we needed to make changes from the first half with Barnes and Albrighton. He was right to bring them off. Albrighton didn't really offer anything. Pace going forward to attack PSV. Barnes, he hasn't really been good for the last 4 or 5 games now. So, it's about time he fights for his place instead of just being given it because of who he is. Brendan this season, he never really gets his substitutions right, does he? Or his timing. But against PSV, he did that. Massive shout out to Jose Perez, who came on and did his job. I'm not his biggest fan, like but you give credit where it's due, and he obviously deserves that. I mean, Lookman played in his natural position, and what a player. I mean, £15 million for that, I'd play it. I'd snap him up.
We need to get pen on paper for Lookman, because for me, against Liverpool, he shows he has the absolute quality. I think he lacks a bit of confidence in himself. He has the ability, so it just needs to be more confident. But I think he was excellent against PSV. And I'm not Perez's biggest fan. Everyone knows I'm not Perez's biggest fan. But tell you what, when he came on, he changed the game completely. He was absolutely outstanding. That cut back to Maddison was just unreal.
Yeah, we needed that goal to get back in the game. He created it, did well to put that man on his arse, and then come back for Maddison, and what a finish. We dominated them second half. I thought, really, in the first half, we take too much time to start going. I mean, that Tillemans sort of
mistake
situation where the goal went in. We bounced back. We come back stronger in that second half and absolutely battered them.
Yeah, I think we dominated the game. And that's all down to Brendan Rodgers. He's a 60-minute man. He brings on subs the 60th minute, but he really wanted this. He came out and right. Plus, all the substitutions were positive. After we scored the second goal, he didn't bring on Vestergaard. He brought on more strikers, which is very rare for Brendan Rodgers. So I've got to put a big hands down to Brendan Rodgers for his tactical, his changes for the half time to make us, be on the front.
Yes, because you've got to attack the game. I mean, you're 1-0 down in a second leg. You've got to go out to win it. We did exactly that, Jonno. PSV didn't want it. It was the case that we attacked them so many times. They were too scared to come. And, we were in full force. We were like Mr. T in a tank, pity the fool. And then we absolutely strolled over them. Ricardo with a finish. And we could have had more. I mean, if we played like that at the King Power Stadium, it would have been over in the first leg.
Well, Andy had a comment here, and I agree with him. As you said, we could have scored more. Barnes missed an absolute sitter. Daka missed a sitter. And he's right. We need, when Vardy retires, I think Daka is a work in progress, but we need that absolute killer. We need that someone to finish off the game, and we haven't got that at the moment, have we?
No. The thing is, we're Leicester fans. We love Jamie Vardy. We don't want to see him retire. He's irreplaceable. He's been a fantastic servant. He's a legend, and he's created so many great memories for us watching him as a Foxes fan. He's going to be missed for sure. Daka, I don't think he's not going to be the next Jamie Vardy. I mean, it's probably 1 in a million people you'll get the next Jamie Vardy. Iheanacho, he's an old player. Daka and Nacho need to play as a two. You play them on the road, they're no good. They need to be more better together like Vardy and Nacho was last season. Nacho ain't really blessed with pace. He can hold up the ball, and you want someone who can play behind.
But the problem is that when you play one up front, the striker becomes irrelevant. And if Barnes has a bad game, you've got that attacking threat. But no, so that's enough about PSV. It's happened. It's done. We're in the semi-final of the Conference League. It's brilliant. So today is the big one. We're in against Newcastle, who have had a revitalised life. They've got a new owner, a new manager, and they just look. They're pretty much saved. They're pretty much guaranteed relegation, but they've saved themselves. So today will be a very tricky game. What would be your preferred lineup?
It's a difficult one.
Shall I go through what I think? Shall I go what I think, and then you see?
Go on, you go first. We'll see if we agree.
Schmeichel has to be in goal.
Yeah.
I want a rotated back four. I want
yeah. Go on.
Luke Thomas at left back,
Yeah.
Justin right back,
Mm-hmm.
and Martin Sionchu centre backs. I think we
Yeah.
need a complete rotation. Fofana is doing Ramadan, and we can't outuse him because we want to rest. He's just come back from 10 months. We need to rest him. I think that Sionchu and Amati have been quality. Well, Amati has been absolute quality this season.
Yeah.
So I think that's my back four.
Mm-hmm.
Mendy has to play.
Yeah,
Has
of
to
course.
play. Chowdhury, I think Chowdhury needs to play.
Too defensive.
Too defensive.
Yeah, we need to go and attack the game and win the game, not sit back and let them come at us.
I want Tielemans to start.
Yeah.
I would have Lookman on the left. I would have Perez on the right. Hello, you there, Jack? Oh, Jack's connection seems to have gone. So I'll bring in someone who else was out with me last night in the tune, who is going to the Newcastle game with me. Please, Ross. It is Sunday morning, so keep it on the chill. It is Ross. Are you ready to come on, Ross?
Yeah, we
Good
go.
morning, Ross. Let me get a few comments in. First, and then we'll get you started.
There is.
Yes, Vardy is one of a kind. He's absolutely brilliant. Yes, they decided to buy glasses last night, and it was
Yeah, they tried to mug us off.
Yeah. Mendy has been outstanding this season. Definitely bring him back. I think Hamza Chowdhury.
They do. They can't stand it.
They can't stand him, and I think he could play offensive and attacking. I think he could do both. I think I want him to come in for rotation purposes. I really want him to come in.
I see Andy's comment.
Andy's comment. I can't see Andy's comment. No.
Oh,
but
he says Ross does Jack snore.
So today, Ross, how do you think the game will go?
Oh, I mean, 6 months ago, I would have said easy 4-0 win. Back in September, October, when they had, Steve Bruce kebab, that stuff. But now, obviously, they've got rid of the kebab and, they brought in, a steak, really, with the owners. And obviously, Eddie Howe, it's took him a bit longer than usual to get going. But obviously, now he's got going. And, we all ripped Newcastle off a few months ago. What you're saying, they're definitely getting relegated. Trippier's has gone from Atletico Madrid all the way, to the Championship. But fair play to them. They're on a really good run at the minute. So today will be a very, very tough test. And I would say I was there yesterday. I got a free stadium tour courtesy of the OH supporters. Thank you. And obviously the atmosphere in Newcastle, if anyone's never been to Newcastle away, the atmosphere is incredible. They are, as you said, Jonno, yesterday when we were chatting in Wetherspoons, the proper fans. They're not like, they're not Man United's, they're not Chelsea's, they're not any of Liverpool.
They're not tourist fans, they're proper fans.
Proper full on Newcastle Geordie lads, as they say, away the lads, as I got it in the tunnel. They are proper fans. Yes, I said I think it'll be a very tough test today. Obviously, they've got, it'll be one of them games where we can't really moan if we lose, but it depends how we play, obviously. Because 6 years ago, we would have said easy win, but now it's a completely different story. But they're a very tough test today. I think be a good game. Hopefully we can win. I think we've won the last few at Newcastle, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
We had our last away game. We won 2-1 at the at St James's Park.
You were just saying about Chowdhury just then. His only goal, if I'm not mistaken, is against Newcastle.
I don't know that, but if you think it is, then we'll go with it.
That goal, what a peach it was on New Year's Day, because he got booed to shreds because of the tackle that he did on Matt Ritchie. He was getting booed out of the building, and then he scored an absolute peach from like 20 yards out in top corner. It was an absolute beauty. Another thing you said about Perez as well. Obviously,
I think he needs to play.
I love to see. You know what? I remember seeing a vlog of, I can't remember his name now. So they were saying about Perez. Obviously, he was there for so many years. He was getting booed. There you go. There's the comment. He was getting booed by all the Newcastle fans. Goes against Newcastle, does that thing that he does, celebration, and all having a go at him. I'm thinking, what? You're booing him? What else do you expect? It's stupid. But no, I think Perez, I agree. I think he should have a chance today. Give him a chance. I think this could be his game. This could be his game to say, you know what, Brendan, I want to prove myself. I want to be in that team. Obviously, I've helped you get to Rome. You know, because that's them subs proved. You know, Perez coming on, it proved the difference. I mean, they all played wrong, but it came on and made that difference. I mean, what a touch it was to keep it in play for the goal for Maddison. Do you know at first? I don't know about you. We had a chance to talk about this. Do you know when the referee stopped? Do you know when they were for about a couple of minutes? Did anyone else thought that goal was going to be disallowed for some reason?
No, me and Reedy went absolutely crazy. I didn't look at the linesman. I know there's no VAR, so I just went mad.
Well, I wonder why the game stopped. I'm like, what's going on? So, but yeah, tough game. It'll be a tough test.
So Ross, what would be your score prediction, and who do you think will be our man of the match?
Well, I'm going to do my video in a bit. I'm going to do my prediction. I'm going to say 2-1 Leicester. I think they'll take the lead. I think they'll take the lead. I don't know how they'll score. They'll just score. And I think Tielemans might get a goal because he likes scoring away from home. Tielemans, I've noticed a lot. He likes
we don't win away though. We've been poor away this season.
True, but he does like to score away from home. Tielemans, and in general. And I think that we'll have a penalty. And obviously, Tielemans he scores penalties, doesn't he? I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to curse. He just scores penalties, and they are beautiful penalties, and all they're peaches as well. All right. So yeah,
I'm good away goals. Anyway, I'm gonna 2-1 Leicester. I'm gonna go 2-1 Leicester as well. I'm gonna bring you out, Ross. I'm gonna bring Mahad in, who's who.
Well, I'm just gonna get my suitcase ready. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes anyway.
Right, in a bit, Ross. Mahad, are you ready to come on and talk about the Newcastle game? I think he's ready. I'll bring him in. Good morning, Mahad.
Morning. How are you?
Tired as the lads went on tour. But no, big game today after a massive win against PSV. How do you think Brendan should line up his team today?
I think he needs to try the two up top, but I don't think he will. I think Perez can be a second striker. But I think one thing we don't do a lot is we don't slide players in. Like I noticed in the game against PSV that our best chances came when we played through balls. But I feel like sometimes when you watch Vardy, even when he plays, he makes 100. He tries to make a lot of runs, and then what you see is Vardy doesn't actually get the ball. So it's like the midfield. I don't know if it's an instruction from Brendan or if it's just that the players don't want to slide it through. So I think we need to try to play more through balls in. But I think, probably, I think you just play a 4-3-3. I'd probably play Lookman on the left instead of Barnes because Lookman's just been more consistent at the moment. And then maybe try Perez on the right.
Yeah. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Good, mate. How are yourself? You're all right, bud?
Not bad. So how do you think of the game today then? What do you think is going to happen?
We're going to have a lot of changes straight down the line. Obviously playing Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. It's going to be a quick turnaround once again for the team. And look, that's what the squad's there for, and we've got to use them at the time. Hopefully Perez gets a start today. I thought he was excellent when he came on the pitch the other night. He really turned the game on its head.
Changed the game.
The movement for the Maddison goal was superb from him, and his skill in the box. We all know he's got ability. We saw that at Newcastle. We've seen it in the Leicester shirt. When he's on form, he's a very good, talented player, but hasn't shown it enough, sadly. But yeah, I expect Perez probably to start on the right and Lookman on the left would be my call today. And then it's who plays up front, or do you go to 4-4-2 and start with Dakani and Nacho? We look more threatening when we did that in the game at PSV.
I think Iheanacho is better in a 2 because Iheanacho is a natural hold-up player. We need someone to overlap him. When he works on his own, he doesn't really work that well for me. But I think we should have a complete rotation of back 4. I think Thomas, Sunchu, Marty, and JJ should play in the back 4 because we've got that rotation. I don't know if Fofana will play. What do you think will be? Because we've been ever since Fofana's come back, we've looked a lot better defensively.
It's a tricky one. You don't want to overload him with too many games, too quick succession. But the defensively, we look so much better when he's in there. Let's not deny that. Personally, I think you'll see what we did last weekend against Palace. It'll be a completely different team, near enough. The back 4 you basically named is the back 4 that I think Brendan will go with today. Maybe for Fafana, for Amati, maybe the only one who might get the nod, but I think it'll be very similar to Crystal Palace game out. I think there'll be a lot of change in there. Mendy obviously will come back into the team today in the Premier League. He deserves to, mate. On form, he's been absolutely superb since he's come back after the Africa Cup of Nations. He's been probably one of the best players on the pitch in the Premier League. And then it's picks itself, really. I think Tielemans stays in the team. Maddison stays in the team. Same with Dewsbury Hall. It's then where you put the extra players in and around that team. What's going to be the tricky situation for Brendan, because we're flying. But let's not get one thing wrong. Dewsbury Hall will need a rest at some point. You can't keep
I've been thinking that
the game after game and expect him to perform at the level he's performed at. He has to have a rest.
As in, we've got the squad depth, but we'll have the issue of if he gets injured for a certain amount of time, if he pulls a hammy or something like that, he'll be a big player to miss. I'll happily rest him this game, maybe play Tielemans, maybe play another midfielder and have him rest him, because he's been our superstar and we can't afford to have another superstar to be injured for a long lengthy period of time.
Yeah, I mean, for me, resting today, bringing back in against an Everton team that are struggling in the middle of the part of the season for keeping possession, and let him really have a go at Everton on the Wednesday night and get it there, that midfield for me. And then it's a tricky one. You know, Tielemans for me did not look on form on the other night. Let's not get it right. Gave the ball away for the first goal. Gave him the ball away for nearly a second goal when they went through and Casper saves him. It's a tricky one at the moment. It's a tricky one on the fence that we all know what Tielemans offers a team. He offers a wide range of passing, and he offers that vision. But when he's not on form, what he hasn't been, he looks very frustrated, not with the team, but with himself. And the amount of time you see him getting annoyed at himself and missing a pass or giving the ball away like he did on the other night, you can tell there's an anger then to try and get one back, but sometimes that means he overcompensates it for doing something a bit more too hard. Look, whatever happens, with Tielemans says we'll go, we've got a good player on hands, but it's a tricky one for me. Probably Tielemans sits this one out as well, and you got Mendy in there, you got Chowdhury who could come in and give us a game, and I think Chowdhury loves playing against Newcastle at the best of times.
Yeah. So what do you think, Mahad? I think Mahad Tielemans has been quite inconsistent. He's been drawing a lot of fouls, getting away penalties. Do you think he needs a rest, or do you think we should play him today?
I think for the first 10 games, he was actually all right in the season. And then he got injured and then he didn't come back quite right. And he looks like his head's gone at the moment. He's a player that's already thinking about Champions League next season for whoever he plays for. And I think Tom's right about Keenan. I think he's probably one of our more technically gifted players, and he's quite beautiful to watch. But I think he's had something like 16 Premier League starts in a row. So I think we're going to end up in a position where, like last season, where we played James Justin and Barnes too much, and then they both got injured for quite a long time.
Well, Neil agrees with you. Neil agrees with you. I said Neil agrees with you. We've got to rest players at some point, and I think this is the game to sit this one out for him.
Yeah, I think I'm not a fan of Chowdhury, I'll be honest, but I think just stick him in there. And I think also Mendy, what I don't get is how wasn't he registered at the beginning of the season? He's actually a really good player when you watch him, and a lot of people are saying that he's a bit like Kante in the modern day, which is quite a high compliment, I think. But yeah, I think maybe play Mendy and then play Chowdhury with him, and then I don't know, maybe Maddison, and then just maybe drop a team, because I think we can still get sixth. With the games in hand, it's still open.
Anthony had raised the point, Tom, that do you think with Arsenal losing games, Spurs bottling it as they do the Spursy, Man United just beating Norwich, and normally as Leicester, we all know, we have a really good start, then fall off in the second half of the season. This is the opposite. We've had a really poor start and we've kind of picked it up a little bit. Do you think it's possible to get into a European spot?
Let's put it straight. One, this season hasn't been like any other season Leicester have been in with injuries that we've had. So the reason for the poor start, we lost so many players. We lost Fafana a week before the season starts, and it was if you look at it now, he's the man that's glued the team back together. You've then had injuries to the whole team. Soyuncu was injured for a period of time. Tielemans, Vardy's been out for long periods during the season.
Madison
was out of form for the first 10, 15 games, and rightly so. He was honest and said, drop me. I deserve to be dropped. Let's just remember one thing, though. Since Juppie Hall's come in the team, this last probably 8 games, Madison has done stuff that he's never done in his life. He's run back more than he's ever done. He's tackling more than he's ever done. The energy, the commitment, desire to do more in that team, that's coming from one person. That's coming from Juppie Hall, because Madison doesn't want to be shown up by a kid, someone who's a couple of years younger than him, who does all that work.
It's competition.
Exactly.
You got to fight for that spot, and he's showing to Brendan that he wants to play, and he's not being taken by an academy kid.
Yeah, and it means it's rubbed off doing. But to get top 4 for me would be very difficult still, mate. That's a lot of points to pick up with the games.
I'm happy with 7th. I'll be happy to go.
Mate, we can
maybe 6th is more realistic.
6th or 7th is still realistic. I looked at the league yesterday, and I was having a play with the old maths and seeing where we could get. And like you say, we've got to win the 3 games in hand. Obviously, one of those is Chelsea. The other 2 are Everton and Norwich. You've got to be looking at the Everton Norwich game and thinking, 6 points there. That means then we're only 3-4 points off where we want, could be. If we were to get the 9 points, I mean, it suddenly makes it interesting, because that would only put us 4 points behind West Ham, I think it is, or something like that. And that's still achievable. They're not the most consistent at the moment. Man U, I thought they were going to draw yesterday, but managed to
I was so gutted. I was so gutted when Ronaldo scored this 3rd goal. It was a good free kick from him, but watching
7th guarantees Europe. That's all I look at, mate. And it's another season in Europe. If you can get 7th, even if it is in the if we're in the conference, we're in Europa League anyway, so it makes no difference. And I've still got a feeling we're going to go win the Europa League, the Europa Conference, to get to the final and win it. I've said it since we got into that competition, and since the players started coming back, that it was ours to go and win for me. But yeah, top 4, don't think it happened. I think, the top 3 are done. The 4th spot, really, I think Tottenham will get it now. I think Arsenal bottled it after that loss at Southampton. I mean,
Spurs lost to Brighton.
Yeah, but mate, we've lost to Brighton.
Brighton, one of those teams where you underestimate them and they really punish you.
But it's like, if Brighton's form was as good as their away form was good at home, they'd be in the top 6, mate.
If they had a striker who could take the chances, they'll be a really top half finish.
And it's the home form that's cost them again. Their away form has been superb. You look at the away results, it's fantastic for Brighton. And I think that's what the fans moan about Brighton, is that the home performances and the home results have cost them, finishing higher than where they are at the moment. So don't take away from Brighton going doing a job at Tottenham, because they can do teams. Brighton are a very good football team in some ways. They play good. Just for me, I think just Spurs will nick that 4th spot. I just think West Ham are too far down now. Same with Man U. Arsenal, not consistent. That's 3 defeats in a row now, I think it is, for Arsenal. Can't do that if you get Champions League football. Where Tottenham maybe winning a couple, then losing one. I just think Tottenham will nick it. But for me, 6th or 7th, it's been a good season. And look, we're into a semi-final. What more can you moan at being a Leicester
Every
fan?
season, we're the first English team to get this semi-final of the conference. No, since the first season of it, but Spurs didn't do it. So we're the first semi-finalist English team in that competition. I'm looking at 4 months ago, we're looking at relegation battle. And we've come.
Yeah, if you look at it, we went into which game was it? Burnley away, and if we'd lost to Burnley away, we would have been a point. Burnley would have been a point behind us.
Yeah,
amazing. One player comes back in Fofana, and suddenly Vardy in that game, because obviously Vardy turned it in that game, and suddenly, where was it? 5 wins out of 7 or something like that in the run now.
Then we beat Leeds.
Exactly, and we're flying. So look, anything is possible. But look, like I say, it's a 6 or 7 to me, and there's still been a good season where for me.
Yeah, exactly. Ben and Gray has said we're not very consistent, and Ben said we can't change formation much. Do you guys think we've been too consistent with formation changes, and we can't mess around with the players in the formation too much because that brings us inconsistencies in?
I think what the game against PSV showed was that if he mixes it up, he wouldn't usually put on Perez. He wouldn't usually try 2 up top. I just really hope that he sees that trying to mix it up has worked. And also the formation, I think, has held us back in a lot of times, because I think even I think it's not just formations. It's even the fact that we don't play through balls anymore. You know, you won't see. I think in that game we played 2 or 3. I think, and it was Nacho that could have got 2 assists, and that was one of the few times that I've seen us actually play like in a very direct way. We're too obsessed with trying to keep the ball, you know. And I've watched a lot of. You see, kind of Pep trying to do that, but he's got the players and he's got the money to do it. But then you look at Klopp and he plays a lot of long balls. So I think Brendan has to take a bit of inspiration from that game.
Exactly. So before the show's coming to an end, so lads, I live up here. Newcastle fans will be very loud today. What do you think the score will be at the full-time whistle?
I'm going to nick it again. I think we'll go for another 2-1 victory. I think we'll. I don't think it'll be a 1-0. I think it'll be 2-1. I can't see the clean sheet against, sadly, Paul Casper. He's not had many of them this year, but a 2-1 win. I'd love to see Daka get a goal just for his confidence. I do like Daka.
I like Daka.
There's a player that confidence is just shot at the moment a little bit. I think we saw that against PSV when he went through on goal. I think a firing Daka who's got another 6 or 7 goals on his belt would have scored that chance and put it in the corner. He snatched at it and probably wouldn't have taken it so early as well. I think he probably would have gone 2 or 3 more strides into the box and probably then put it in the net. He just snatched it. For me, Daka probably needs another start. He needs minutes, mate, and that's probably the biggest thing. He's only been getting 10, 14 minutes here, 8 minutes there. That's not good enough for a striker in this, any league to get confidence up. They've got to be getting game time. So if Daka can get a start today, I'd like to see Daka get a start. And I'm going for a 2-1 Daka to score.
Yep. What do you think, Mahad? What do you think the score will be?
I think 2-1 as well, because I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. And I don't know if we're going to score a lot. But I think if we play to the striker's strength and we try to play a bit more direct, a few more through balls, I think we would benefit because, I think we have the players to win games. We just don't have the players or the style to put them away. So I think 2-1 as well.
I've not this season been quite good with my predictions. I look at the Geordie Sky. It's calling a 2-1 victory for Leicester. Normally, I called it we'll get hammered by West Ham. I called it we'll get hammered by Forest, and I was right. I'm calling a Leicester City win. I think, we got to be loud. Geordie fans are loud. We've got to be loud as away fans, and I'm going to be loud. I think we're going to get a 2-1 win. I think we'll always concede. I think Wood always scores against Leicester. I think he will score, but I think Daka and I think Lookman will score today for me. They're my 2 goal scorers. So I'm going to read a few comments, lads, and it's been thanks so much for coming on today. And wait, are you coming to the game, Tom? Or are you staying at home today?
I'm at home today, mate. I only got back from holiday yesterday, mate. So that Easter and have a roast dinner and watch it on the telly, mate.
Well, keep an eye out for Jack. He's wearing his bright yellow kit today, so keep an eye out for me and Jack on the away stand. Lovely having you on, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, guys. See you in a bit.
See ya.
Cheers, Mahad, for coming on. Really appreciate you coming on. We'll see you later, mate.
See ya.
So let's get some final score predictions in, guys. Rico says 3-1 to Leicester. I do think Maddison, does deserve a call-up. I think he's been excellent. His free kicks have been quality. Well, I don't feel better finishing above West Ham. West Ham, they've got Burnley next, and they'll go up in. They'll go into 6th place. I don't think we'll go above West Ham, but I do think we could go above Wolves if they lose form. I think Dak will be fine as well. I think his Fox's career will be really good. Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you so much. I can never take over for Jamie, and he's a legend in this. I'm just doing my best because he's got work, but really appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for everyone for coming on today. Really appreciate it. I'm not Jamie, so I'm doing my best. But thank you so much for coming on today. So I'm going to try and do his outro. So it's ta-ta, adios, top of the morning to you. Come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.